So I've been seeing this tag on YouTube called the TMI tag. It's where people make videos of themselves answering 50 questions honestly. And I've been wanting to be more open and put myself out there more on my vlog, so I thought this would be an interesting thing for me to do. Now I know it's an old tag, but I'm an old guy. And so I've got the 50 questions here on my phone, and let's get started. Question number one, what are you wearing? Oh, flirty starting out. As you can tell, I'm wearing my green Dava shirt. I'm also wearing my black Dava pants. And if you want to see a video of me unboxing these clothes, check out my YouTube channel. Question number two, ever been in love? Oh yeah, I've certainly been in love. And not always wisely. Question number three, ever have a terrible breakup? Oh yeah, definitely. It was after a long relationship that should have been a lot shorter than it was, and she broke it off with me in a manner indicative of the nature of our relationship, but I'm glad that it's over. Question number four, how tall are you? 6 feet. Question number five, how much do you weigh? Obviously, way too much. I am currently 285. I have been losing weight. At my heaviest, I was 325 pounds. I've made a lot of progress, but I still have a ways to go. Question number six, do you have any tattoos? I do not have any tattoos. I have in the past considered getting a tattoo. I have ideas for tattoos I'd like to have, but unfortunately it's too late for me. Back in 2012, I had a heart attack, and they had to put in a stent. And because of the stent, I'm on blood thinners and will be for the rest of my life. And because I'm on blood thinners, I can't get tattoos. Question seven, do you have any piercings? No, I do not have any piercings. Question number eight, who is your OTP? One true pairing. I'm not sure there is such a thing as an OTP. I don't really subscribe to this idea that there is one person in all the world that was meant for you. I think people can grow together. I think that we create our relationships from scratch. I do believe there are people out there who would be really good for me. The problem has been in the past that I've not spent my time with those people. I've spent it with people who were really bad for me. And it's only been rather recently I've decided that that needs to change. Question number nine, what is your favorite show? Well, I don't watch a lot of TV, but sometimes I'll fixate on a particular show and I'll binge the heck out of it. Big fan of Rick and Morty. I like The Boys. I enjoy The Walking Dead. The one that I've been watching the longest would have to be Doctor Who. This is the show that's been the longest on the air, but it's the most consistent show that I watch. Question 10, what are your favorite bands? Oh, good Lord, how long would that take? When it comes to music, I listen to everything from classical to industrial. If there's a genre of music I don't listen to a lot, it would have to be country. Not because I have a problem with country music per se. I mean, there's a lot of country songs that I like, but the problem I have with a lot of modern country is it's trying to be pop and it's doing a really bad job of it. It's a lot of really cheesy lyrics and snap tracks, which I'm not a fan of. I listen to a lot of different things, which is probably the best reason why you never let me control the radio or the aux cord, because there's no telling what you're going to get. Question number 11, something you miss. I don't know if there's a something that I miss. I mean, there's certainly people that I miss. You know, people that at one time were in my life and are gone now for one reason or the other. People that I wonder about and wonder how they're doing. That really kind of hit home to me recently when I was thinking about a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in many years. His name's Basil. He's a magician. He was a friend of mine. We used to hang out together all the time, but we just kind of lost track of each other. And so I wanted to try to find him again, and I went online and had discovered that a few years ago he had committed suicide. So I guess the moral of the story here is appreciate the people you have in your life because you don't know how long they'll be there. Question number 12, what is your favorite song? I don't have a favorite song right now. When I was younger, I would usually fixate on a particular song for a while, but my listening habits are pretty vast. I listen to all kinds of things when I'm sitting down wanting to listen to music. Question 13, how old are you? I am currently 53. I will be 54 January the 1st. Question 14, what is your zodiac sign? Well, obviously Capricorn. Question number 15. Quality you look for in a partner. Well, I wish I always had felt this way, and I really wish I had felt this way in my 20s, but what I'm looking for in a partner is, if we're talking about a long-term partnership, I want there to be the opportunity for me to make their life better. If my being in a relationship with them doesn't affect them in any way at all, or heaven forbid makes their life worse or more miserable or makes things more difficult for them, there's no relationship there. I feel that if I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody, I need to be bringing something to that relationship for them. And I think that if you get two people who have that mindset, then you're at the beginning of a really powerful and long-lasting relationship. Question number 16, what is your favorite quote? Well, I actually have two of them. One is by author Stephen King, which is, "Talent is cheaper than table salt. The difference between a talented person and a successful one is a lot of hard work." My second favorite quote is by Teller of Penn and Teller. And I know it sounds weird that somebody who doesn't talk has one of my favorite quotes, but he does talk, and I have talked to him. And my favorite quote from him is, "Sometimes magic is just someone spending more time on something than anyone else might reasonably expect." Question number 17, who is your favorite actor? Well, for the most part, there isn't an actor out there where I see their name on the marquee and I'm like, oh, I gotta watch that movie. All actors, for the most part, have movies that I enjoy and movies that I don't like. But if there is one person that I consistently enjoy their work, it'd have to be Vincent Price. Question 18, what is your favorite color? Well, that really depends. When I was a kid, I really loved the color orange, and I remember in kindergarten coloring using just an orange crayon and getting a note back from my teacher saying, "Too much orange." But it was my favorite color. What can I do? It really depends on my mood to some degree, but it also, if we're talking about clothes, I tend to lean to blacks, but I also like blues and greens because they're very complementary to my complexion. There are sometimes I'm in a real red mood when we're just talking favorite colors, or yellow. I mean, it really does depend on my mood. So right now I'm kind of leaning to green, but ask me again in 15 minutes. Question 19, loud music or soft music? Well, I guess it goes back to bands. I listen to everything. Sometimes I'm in a really loud, energetic mood, and the music I like to listen to reflects that. And sometimes I'm in a somber, peaceful mood, and the music reflects that. Question number 20. Where do you go when you're sad? Well, I usually go off by myself, and I kind of withdraw into myself. I always like to find some quiet, private place and withdraw and just kind of dwell in my feeling at the moment. That may not be the healthiest way of handling things all the time, but it's what I tend to do. Because I think part of it has to do with when I'm sad, I don't want to burden anyone else with it. I don't want other people to feel bad just because I'm feeling bad. And there have been a lot of times when I haven't felt my best, and someone's asked me how you doing, and of course I lie about it, and then I just kind of go off by myself to slowly die inside. Question number 21, how long does it take you to shower? Well, usually about 30 minutes. One, because I tend to do everything in the shower. I shave, I brush my teeth. But I also like really hot showers. And usually I know a shower is over when the water turns cold. Question 22, how long does it take you to get ready in the morning? Well, that depends. I usually like to do a full routine of about an hour, which includes, showering, getting ready, doing a little bit of exercise in the morning before my showers. If I were in a really desperate emergency, I could probably go from bed to out the door in 5 minutes. It doesn't take me a long time to get dressed. If the house was on fire, I could probably be out in about 2-3 minutes tops. Question number 23, ever been in a physical fight? Yeah, I have, a few times. When I was younger, I would get bullied a lot, and I would just tuck in and just get beaten. And obviously it didn't work very well because people who want to hit on you, if they know you're not going to fight back, they'll just keep doing it. But when I got older, I got fed up, and somebody took a swing at me, and I started swinging back. I didn't care if I got hurt or not. And I was never bullied again, ever. Question number 24, what are your turn-ons? I like people who are willing to try new things. That's a major turn on for me. I like people who are experimental, who are adventurous, because sometimes some of the things that they're interested in or some new experiences are things maybe I haven't thought about. And I have been in some really great relationships with people who were very adventurous and introduced me to new things that I never experienced before that I really enjoyed and enjoy to this day. Question number 25, what are your turn-offs? A major turn-off for me is being mean to other people. If I'm out with someone and they're rude to a server, that's pretty much game over. I'm probably never going to see him again. If you're in a relationship with someone who's constantly talking trash about an ex, please understand that you're going to be the next X they're going to be talking trash about. And yes, you will be the next X. This is a huge red flag for me, which I have in the past ignored to my peril. Question number 26. The reason you joined YouTube. Well, I originally started years ago because I wanted to do a video blog, but I wasn't consistent with it, so that kind of withered. For a while, I was putting out videos to help people who wanted to become more creative. I stopped doing that when certain things in my life happened, and that kind of folded up. I am currently working on a channel right now to go back to helping people become more creative, and I'm hoping to have videos on that channel sometime in September. And of course, on this channel, I've gone back to vlogging. I'm hoping I'll be more consistent this time. Question number 27. What are your fears or phobias? For the longest time, I've been the most terrible hypochondriac. It's been something that has bothered me for a while, but when 2012 hit in March and I had the heart attack, it's been worse ever since. In a strange way, my hypochondria worked for me in 2012 because I felt a pain in my chest, and I remembered my uncle had died of a heart attack about the same age that I was. And so I directly went to the hospital, and they were able to find something and fix it before there was any real damage done to my heart, which was good. But yeah, every March after that would roll around, and it'd be like a dark cloud over my head. I mean, I'd be in a panic about every little chest pain that I would have, and of course March would end and that feeling would kind of go away, but next year it would come back. Well, March of 2020, I had a lot more to worry about because coronavirus. Oh my God, what happens if I have a heart attack? I got to go to ICU and there are no beds. There was a lot to worry about. But for some reason, I wasn't worried. It was like that cloud had lifted. I have been, over the last year or so, I've been thinking about a lot of things in my life, and maybe that philosophical approach is starting to heal things in me that have been bothering me for a long time. Question number 28. What was the last thing that made you cry? Man, that's a good question. I can't say for sure. And I'm sure I've teared up because of a beautiful scene in a movie or a passage in a book, but I mean, flat out crying, I can't remember the last time I've done that. I don't know if that's a good thing. Maybe I'm way overdue for that. Question number 29. Last time you said you loved someone. That's pretty simple. It was this morning. I went to visit my brother at his work, and I told him that I loved him before I left, and he told me that he loved me. Question number 30. Meaning behind your YouTube name or other usernames. Well, my usernames tend to be Brian J. Hatcher because my name tends to be Brian J. Hatcher, so no great mystery there. Question number 31. What was the last book you read? Well, the last book that I read was Recovery by Russell Brand. Now, I'm not an addict, and you might not be an addict, but as Russell points out in his book, we're all in some part of the spectrum of addiction, whether it's food or the internet. Addiction is nothing but a distraction that we use to distract us from pain in our life. It's not the best coping mechanism, and understanding how distraction and addiction works, we can break a cycle of addiction and actually start to address the problems that we have in our life. And I think that's a really great philosophy to have, and so I think it's a great book that everybody should be reading. Question number 32, the book you're currently reading. Well, that would be The Primal Roots of Horror Cinema by Carol Fry. Basically, it's a book about our enjoyment of horror in general, and cinema in particular, and the evolutionary roots behind that enjoyment and where it comes from. Obviously, this is a subject which I am utterly fascinated with. Question number 33, last show you watched. Well, that'd be the season finale of Rick and Morty. If you don't know what that is, it's an animated show that's very nihilistic, very anarchistic, and kind of messed up. But it's a show that makes you think, and there's not a lot of TV shows out there that do that, which is why I love it so much. Question number 34, last person you talked to. The last person I talked to on the phone was Jonathan Frost. He is a friend of mine that I met through Magic. He's now writing screenplays. So we talked a little bit about the process, and he's wanting to send me something that he's working on that I can't wait to get a chance to look at. Question number 35, the relationship between you and the person you last texted. The person I last texted was Mandy Petrie. She and I have been friends for a while. We've performed on stage together in different productions. We currently do a podcast together, the Geek Watch podcast. Of course, since coronavirus has hit, she hasn't come to the studio to record. I've basically called her on the phone and patched her in, and we've done the podcast that way. But It's been several months since I've actually seen her face to face or had lunch with her, and I have to say I really do miss her. And I hope this corona thing is over soon so I get to see her again. Question 36. What is your favorite food? I do enjoy a good gourmet pizza. Unfortunately, we have some nice gourmet pizza shops around here that we can still do pickup that have ruined the pedestrian pizza places for me pretty badly. Now, I like pizza, I like Chinese food, I like Italian food. I mean, look at me. Do you think there's food that I don't particularly like? But I've been trying to make healthy food my favorite food, and that's been a struggle, but we're still working on it. Question 37, place you want to visit. Oh, good Lord, where do I start there? I would say if there's a place I want to visit that I've been to before, it would be a tie between Martha's Vineyard and New York City. I've been to New York City a couple of times, but I certainly haven't done everything there I would like to do. I'd love to see some Broadway shows. But of course, coronavirus has shut everything down, so there's not a whole lot of travel going on. As far as outside the United States, God, how many places I would love to visit. I would love to tour the world. In fact, I've seen this cruise that it's like, I forget how many thousands of dollars it is, but it is a world tour. You actually travel around the world in this cruise. It takes months to complete, but it's one of those weird things I would absolutely love to do. Number 38, last place you were. Besides here, I was at Sam's getting gas. Not very exciting, but exciting trips are not in the cards as of right now, for sure. Question 39. Do you have a crush? Maybe? Question number 40. Last time you kissed someone? Yeah, that's been a while. Question number 41. Last time you were insulted? Well, I am on the internet. I did get an insulting comment on one of my videos here on YouTube. There was a kernel of truth in it, something I've learned from and I'm going to be working on. But yeah, you just can't let those things get to you because some people have nothing better to do than throw a brickbat at someone they don't know. Question 42, favorite flavor of sweet? Tea, like a chai latte or a traditional milk bubble tea, sometimes chocolate. French vanilla is my favorite flavor of ice cream, but of course a lot of these tastes of sweet I've been laying off of for a while now. Question 43, what instruments do you play? Well, I'm currently learning to play the guitar, so I don't know if that counts because I'm really lousy right now at playing the guitar, but I'm learning it. I'd like to learn how to play the piano too, so maybe sometime in the future I'll take that up as well. Question 44, favorite piece of jewelry? Well, I have a necklace that has a little pendant on it that says Memento Mori, which means remember one day you will die. And I think it goes back to the question I had about phobias and my hypochondria. I think a lot of what has helped me with that has been this idea of knowing that death is inevitable, but you're alive today and make the most of that day. I think that's been a great help to me, and so, of course, I have that little piece of jewelry that I wear sometimes to remind me about that. But what's interesting about that piece of jewelry is it has a thing on the back that says, remember that today you are living. So it's the other side of the coin, so to speak. Question 45, last sport you played? Yeah, well, it doesn't look like I play a lot of sports, does it? But I'm not a big sports fanatic, either watching it or playing it. I do love to go biking. I don't know if that counts as a sport, but it's certainly something I enjoy doing. Question 46, last song you sang? Well, I'm not much of a singer. I'd like to learn how to sing, but I don't even sing in the shower. I just find my voice too cringy. Question 47, favorite chat-up line? I don't believe in chat-up lines. It's a good way to break the ice, perhaps, but they always kind of sound cheap and kind of screwy and cheesy, and maybe that's why they work. But I always like to go in at it honestly. But if you look at my dating history, maybe I'm completely wrong about this. Maybe I should start using chat-up lines. Question 48, have you ever used it? A chat-up line? No, not at all. Maybe I should start, I don't know. Question 49, last time you hung out with anyone? Oh God, that is not the question to ask in 2020. God, when was the last time I hung out with somebody? I think it was lunch with Mandy would be the last time, and that would have been first part of March. It might have been Mandy and my friend Kevin Pauly, or just Mandy. I don't recall, but that seemed like years and years ago. Well, that's depressing. And question number 50: who should answer these questions next? Like I said, I'd seen this tag on some videos, and a few of the people said, hey, the people watching this video, you should do this tag. So, yeah, if you're watching this video and you want to do these 50 questions, look for them online and answer them, and tag me in the comments. Let me know that you've done this, because I definitely like to see how you would answer these 50 questions. This is my life so far, but it's not over yet. See you next time.